So foundations, when you think about a foundation, I'm guessing y'all probably think about you want something strong and robust, right? Generally speaking, right? Because it's the basis of the home. It's the initial building block that we have. And we don't want that to fail, because if that fails, everything else on top of that ultimately will fail, right? So it's extremely important to get a good quality foundation. So most of the foundations have standards such as PSIs and that sort of thing. They have rebar, engineers, and so you don't really have to necessarily know that much about that from your vantage point. What is good to keep in mind is the relationship of the earth to that foundation. Hey, stop, Tidy B's here. Come on, Tidy, come on. Come on, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna draw just two pictures, very simply put, to show y'all two different foundations, and then I'm gonna ask y'all what you think about these two foundations. Okay, so this first one right here, right? This is the house, this is the earth, okay? What do y'all notice about the earth's relationship to that house here? Curved, yep. What way is the curve going? Away from the house. Y'all see that? That's an extremely big deal, guys. Extremely big deal. So when you walk up on a property for the first time, I want y'all to start thinking about this. I want you to look at the earth and its relationship to the house. This one would allow water. If I were to pour my water on top of this house, where would that water go? Away from the foundation, right? So in the building science world and builders, just our general rule of thumb that is huge in our world is down and around. That's what we want water to do. Alex, you're always talking about Bruce Lee and water. He says, be the water, right? So be the water. Understand, think about the water and think about where the water is going to be able to go and what its pathway is. And so we want it to be able to go down and around. Okay, so this second one that I've drawn, don't mind the top dirt. What's going on with the relationship of the earth to that house? It's the inverse of that, right? So where's that water going to go? It's going to stay there, yeah. And so what is that ultimately going to do? It's going to saturate that foundation. And it has no pathway out. It has no exit strategy, right? And so ultimately, if you want your foundation to last and be durable, you need that water to get out of there. And if you notice something like this, you're going to have foundation problems. And so, you know, in terms of foundation problems, we all kind of get very nervous about issues with foundations. We see diagonal cracking, we see, you know, what seems like a sunken pier, or, you know, all kinds of stuff. And it makes you think like the house is garbage, it's a problem, don't buy it, right? And so you look at all these structural elements and you're thinking it's the frame, it's what happened here? And you don't know a lot of times. I'm gonna tell y'all the vast majority of the occurrences of those diagonal cracks, of the sunken piers, this, that, and the other, are that the water just simply is not going down and around. And so one of the easiest ways to fix a house that is having foundation issues is to give the water a pathway to go down and around. And you'd be amazed at how rapidly you can fix and mitigate that situation of a poor, bad foundation just simply by giving that water that exit strategy. It's pretty amazing, right? Like, because I mean, that's a super big deal in real estate. Am I right, sure. Kevin? Sure. Yeah. Okay, so you also see with this type of situation, you see another scenario. I see this one a lot, especially in areas where you have a lot of hills, like, you know, the Zilker, Barton Hills area, right? You see this a lot. So Alex, tell me about this one. What do you see here?
The water's going to run into the side of the house and the foundation up here on the high side.
That's right. Yeah. So over here, it looks like it can go down and around, right? But on this side, it doesn't look like it can. So if you see that, if you walk up on a property and you see that, really, guys, that should be a red flag. Now, I know that we've got many homes in Austin, lots and lots and lots built on hills, and this exact same thing's going on. But I will also tell you, those houses have more risk involved with them, and they're going to potentially be more problematic. And you should really make note of that when you see this, and you should ask some questions like, what is being done to mitigate water getting into that house? So one way that you can mitigate this when you see this, because ultimately what's happening is this water is a force of nature, and it's coming abutting this house, and it's gonna find its way through. Think about the ocean, like it's all powerful, it's so humbling, and it's gonna force its way through. So one strategy that can be employed with this that helps dramatically is to simply regrade right there and do something like that, right? Because now you've given the water a pathway out, and then ultimately you want to take that around the side of the house or the property or something to that effect. Another big element that I'm just going to kind of draw it in and act like the foundation is here, is you want to be able to see the foundation. If you cannot see the foundation, what are some events that could occur? If you can't see it, you, sir.
Erosion?
Yes, erosion, definitely erosion, but yes. Absolutely, absolutely. And so with wood rot, what is usually involved with wood rot? Termites and insects, right, totally. So that's why you want to be able to see. And if you can see 6 inches clean of that foundation, then you can see the pathways of these insects. And then you have the ability to control that situation now. You don't have to sweat it too much. You can, have a termite inspector or, some annual termite maintenance or something to that degree. And that's pretty much what they're going to monitor. The most challenging situations for somebody who's helping your home be rid of termites is when you cannot see that foundation all the way around. And one of the biggest culprits of that is landscaping and that sort of thing. Like, y'all can turn around right now and y'all can look at this porch, right? And just kind of use that as an example. You can see over here no foundation, and over here you can see like 2 inches of foundation. And so if you can just imagine the house, if this is your house, and you can't see, you've got weep holes in the brick, and that's so that water can theoretically get out of the brick. But that's also a pathway for insects to get in. So if you bring your dirt and your grade above those weep holes or to those weep holes and you can't see the pathway, these little guys are so small, they're just gonna sneak into your structure, and you really don't have any idea if they're there or not, right? And then so people start involving things like chemicals and all kinds of poisons because you don't really have a good way of mitigating it. But the root cause is you're not leaving enough visible foundation. So, let's see how I'm doing.
Isn't that on code, Doug?
It-
Gotta be 6 inches?
It is on code, right? But a lot of older homes are post-construction, so people have done all kinds of landscaping and this, that, and the other, and it's gone. Also, pouring porches and stuff like that up against some of these homes, a lot of that causes problems with this sort of thing. So, so that's foundations. Next, I'm gonna get into roofs.